Hello, happy Good Friday, and welcome to Cosplay Cafe, where we'll be serving up a hot, steaming cup of cosplay. Tonight, we're going to be talking original characters and original designs with some special guest hosts, a special guest. But first, enjoy the credits. All right, so my first guest barista is Willow Skylor, the incomparable Willow Skylor.
Hello.
Steampunky. That's a word. Totally a word.
How's it going?
Good. Or, as we discussed off screen, Good Friday's not so good, but you know what? It's going to be good. We also have Mr. Ryan Permisson. How's it going, Ryan?
It's going well. Yeah, Good Friday's been
It's been good,
but it's going to be fun here in the studio because I'm happy to be with two of my best friends, two of the kindest people I've known for many, many years now, and I'm just happy to be here because it's Friday. Like the movie says, we ain't got no job and we ain't got nothing to do. So we got cosplay to talk about, and I'm sporting a nice outfit, which we'll talk more about later. But man, cosplaying and characters and originality, I love that combination. So let's mix it up because we're the cream that rises to the top. Let's introduce our special guest. I'm wondering who this individual is. I'm curious to know more about him, just like Curious George, the curious little monkey. Anyone remember Curious George in those animated series when we were kids? Yes. I do.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm. Oh my God. Oh, we need some cookies now, fellas. We need some Milanos. Can we get a couple Milanos out here, producer?
I got my Reese's Pieces.
There you go.
Are you willing to share?
He loves Reese's. He loves Reese's Pieces. We love ET, right?
So our special guest is my friend Brendan, aka Gingy Weebmet Cosplay. Brendan is a really talented Chicago area cosplayer. I met him through his group Chicagoland Cosplay Creations. He plans the most ornate, awesome group photo shoots. We go to some really cool locations. We had a booth at C2E2 where we had some fun backdrops and cosplayers could stop in, and we had a different theme each day. I lent them some of my backdrops. I got to hang out at the booth. It was so much fun. He just really is a fun guy, and he is sporting one of his original characters from his book series that he's working on, which I can't wait to hear more about. So welcome, Brendan.
Hey, thank you for having me on today.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks for joining us all the way for Chicago with them Bears and them Cubs. You know, the Cubs, they won the World Series in 2015, you know. So,
yeah, they did that, right?
Yeah, Chicago, man. Yeah.
So right, do you want to tell us?
That's my best attempt at a Chicago accent with them Bears.
Very good. Very good.
Well, like the Kelly said, I'm from Chicago. Well, grew up in the burbs, but Chicago native, So yeah, I got into the cosplay like in the university days, when I met like a few others over at the Benedictine.
Exactly.
And then that's just where it all kicked off. And naturally, I've always been a creative type, so this just all kicked off within a couple of years. Is that enough for your?
Oh my God.
I'm impressed.
You know what? We should go the whole episode with this. That SNL sketch can make it work. We can too.
Okay, if you guys do the Chicago accent, I will do the Wisconsin accent. I'll do from Bobby's World, don't you know?
I don't know if I want to hear the Wisconsin accent.
Oh, and I can't do the typical Canadian accent without losing my stuff myself. So
okay. All right, we'll just talk as our normal human everyday selves. It's okay.
I haven't watched enough Letterkenny in order to fulfill
We'll
that
talk
need
in our
to do
civilized
the
accent.
Canadian accent.
I was just talking my original because I'm originally from Maryland. For those of you who may be wondering, I'll just talk my regular Maryland accent, even though I don't really have one.
Yeah, you could have the generic newscaster accent. It's
Thank
good.
Yeah.
So, Brendan, do you want to tell us a little bit about your character?
Yeah,
you
sure.
are sporting?
So my character's name is Tikon Regas. He is a Greek demigod, and he goes by the alias of Odysseus. So my character in his arsenal has a bow and arrow that I made all by myself.
So cool.
Want a demonstration, I suppose?
Yeah, if you have the room to do that, please do.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. This is going to get very serious here in the studio, folks.
Okay, we need to bring you up.
Full screen.
Thank you, Willow.
There it goes.
Yes!
Love that. I can go the distance. I am on my way. Sorry. I'm sorry. When I think of Greek mythology, one of the first things that comes to mind is Hercules. Honey, you mean Huncules. Sorry. I'm
You
sorry.
mean Heracles, because
Heracles,
Hercules
that's
is
right.
Latin. Thank you.
It's
very much.
Latin. Thank you. You're right. I'm sorry. I
But
mispronounced
yes,
the individual's
as a history major, I've very much been enamored with history, and in pop culture, things like Assassin's Creed really inspired me.
Yes. Love Assassin's Creed.
And so, yeah, like just a year ago almost, I started working on this from scratch, pretty much from the waist up. This is all handmade. And
let me pull up your picture.
the last, let's see. Yeah, like I debuted this at the Renaissance Fair alongside my friends,
It's awesome.
as you can see.
Okay.
Love that.
Oh, that's
And
great.
so, as you can see, with my character being associated with like the water and stuff, so Tikon or Odysseus, he is the son of Poseidon, or rather, the grandson of Poseidon, and his background is that his father served in the Greek Revolution. So
Okay.
here's the main. So my character is actually kind of more of a second half of the book supporting character, but has like his own arc in the second installment. And so the Greek you see here is like the main one throughout the book. He is the grandson of Ares. So he has like kind of an ability like Gambit, sort of, where he like can tap his energy into any weapon that he holds.
Did you draw this?
So these are actually drawn by another congoer friend of ours,
Okay.
Joseph Pinaglia. So he commissioned those for me.
Talented.
Wow.
Okay.
That's incredible, by the way. That's really good artwork. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does a lot of great art.
Yes.
I'm a huge steampunk fan, if you can't tell. So
Yeah, Willow, I
that's,
couldn't tell by those
very much
giant
my
goggles on
alley.
your forehead. Yeah.
Yeah, so the series that my original character is from, I call it Guardians Through the Ages. And the first part is called The Shadow of Excalibur. And so it takes place in the second half of the 19th century. And it follows a young couple in Liverpool, one an industrialist heir to a company, and the other a street rat vigilante who don't want to spoil too much, but their pasts kind of intertwine with one another, and they're two that you wouldn't think would ever be together. And so throughout their time together, they meet up with other people throughout the world of the 19th century and fight evil. There's this the main villain is an actual person. Doubt you would guess who it is, 'cause I don't want to spoil much, but he steals and wields the legendary sword of Excalibur, and that becomes the focal point of their whole conflict.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And so it incorporates a lot of like mythology, legends, and even like Christian like demonology and stuff like that.
Okay.
So yeah, it's quite a big passion project of mine the last couple of years.
Well, my TBR pile is 600 miles deep, but I don't mind digging it a little further. So, in the words of our good friends at Futurama, # not a sponsor, shut up and take my money. So, where can I get a copy of this story? Because I want to read it tomorrow. Where can I get that?
So, yeah, so actually, I just started a website, and I have my short story that's like a prequel to like the whole beginning of this universe, the whole events that shape it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a short story that I worked on in a class that I took online, so it's free to read if you want a preview of it.
Excellent.
Yeah, definitely check out Brendan's website.
Absolutely, 100%. You're gonna have to text me this later. But yeah, this is fantastic. I love it.
I will send it to you later for sure.
Sorry,
So,
that was Ryan's inner voice. But anyway, he's back now.
Yeah, anyone that loves historic fiction or urban fantasy, anything having to do with like legends and mythology, definitely would enjoy this. If you loved Assassin's Creed or any kind of thing that.
Okay.
I also was really inspired by like series like Avatar that have a different team in each different series, because I really like that formula lately where it's one team or one protagonist in one installment, then like a new one in a different era. And that's what Guardians Through the Universe has the format of throughout it. There are some returning characters, but each time covers a whole new era and it still continues the same story.
That is intriguing with a capital I. If you don't mind, Kelly, one quick follow-up question to what he was saying. Mm-hmm. You mentioned Assassin's Creed here, and I'm just curious. I'm one of the 1 or 2.5 people who enjoyed this, but what did you think of the live-action adaptation of Assassin's Creed with our good friend Michael Fassbender?
I actually have not gotten around to that, but
okay.
Some point I will. Although I've heard mixed reviews, especially one of my friends that actually kind of got me or first exposed me to the game. He said like it was kind of okay, but not heard much on the great side.
That's okay. I mean, when you get a chance, watch it. To each their own. I enjoyed it. You know, I walked in with certain expectations. They were met. I mean, for me anyway. And I enjoyed it. And hey, Michael Fassbender, kicking tail, taking names. I mean, he's done so well as Magneto. So.
Oh yeah, especially enjoy that actor.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd ask a bonus question for Brendan here, Kelly. Sorry, didn't mean to step on your toes because I know it's
go for it.
It's the house that Kelly, Crayley, and Andrea built. I'm just living in it, but yeah, I couldn't help it. He mentions Assassin's Creed, and I'm like, I really like the movie. I'm one of the few 2.5 people who actually liked it. Sorry,
you're allowed. You're allowed.
There is that Netflix series I heard announced.
Oh, they're making an Assassin's Creed Netflix show?
Yeah, that's what I heard. Not much has been said about it, but it sounds like it's in production.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to Google this after. Man, I got too much homework to do after this show. It's Friday night. We're supposed to be out with happy hour.
Well, let's hope it does better than the Resident Evil series that they came out with.
They came out with the Resident Evil series. Man, I'm so behind.
Oh boy.
Obviously, it wasn't good.
Well, I remember this, and I haven't seen this movie yet, even though it stars 2 people that I'm quite fond of, Robbie Amell, and I believe it wasn't a Mary Elizabeth Winstead, but one of the female actresses is someone I'm a bit of a fan of. Did anyone see the new one, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, with Robbie Amell in it?
No, but I love Robbie Amell. He's
okay.
great.
Well, he's in it.
Sorry,
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that one.
Okay, I take it. Okay, bottom line is the movie ended up in the Razzie pile for Willow. That's all right.
You know what? Sometimes I love watching movies that are so bad. I'm
a huge fan of Resident Evil, guys. So anything that, I've been a fan ever since the video game came out. So
that's true. You're an OG fan. You're hardcore. You take this stuff pretty seriously.
That is very fair.
I don't know. Also, I was curious. I may have to watch Welcome to Raccoon City because I do like the cast, especially with Robbie Amell being one of the lead actors.
You'll have to watch it and let me know. Is it on Netflix?
Is it on Netflix? It might be. No, I don't think it is. No, I don't think it is. Nope. I think I have to get it on DVD. But that's okay because we have plenty of those places that sell DVDs here where I live in North Carolina, so we're good.
What's a DVD?
You don't know what a DVD is? It's called a digital video disc, I believe is what the acronym stands for. If I'm wrong about this, chat, let me know because I'd be curious to hear your thoughts. Hey, listen, Willow, not to make you feel any worse about yourself, but I do own the Resident Evil Milla Jovovich 6-film collection.
Okay, so I love there's things that I like about that series, and then there's some stuff that I hate about it, and yeah.
I needed you guys on our video game episode 2 weeks ago.
I'm sorry.
I probably should have showed up.
We totally it took your show. I'm sorry.
Willow would have taken over the entire set.
But I do know like one guy that started doing photography at cons who's like a huge fan, Brad Hale. I don't know if Kelly, you know him.
Oh,
I don't think so.
He's like a big guy. He's like almost like a Hagrid giant, I swear.
really?
And he's a huge Resident Evil fan. So if you ever invited him on, he'd have quite a lot to say, I'm sure.
I just want to meet him and hug him now. Once you said he was Hagrid sized, I just need to hug him.
Maybe that's an overstatement, but
I mean, no one's actually Hagrid sized. Also, I have to show Eli Cash's comment from when we were talking about our human accents. He slams head on desk. Humans, why save them? Danger, Carney. Disgruntled, impossibilist.
Oh, hi, Eli. Good to see you. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods.
Hi, Eli.
Good to see you, Eli.
Always good to see you.
Always good to see Eli. I see him pop up all the time. Well, in this show, anyway.
We appreciate Eli.
In the words of DJ Khaled, we appreciate you. Sorry, I use that GIF sometimes when I'm on social media. I appreciate you. I just feel like saying it. I don't know why.
That's all right. So, Ryan, do you want to talk a little about your character? I'm going to show that.
Oh, the show's about me now? Is that what we're doing? Yep. Okay, cool.
It's
So
all about you.
let's talk about Ryan's Good Friday that he didn't have. No, I'm kidding. Let's talk about this for a minute, guys. So I'm wearing this hoodie. I'm wearing a gray shirt, and you can't see it right now because we have the image up on screen, but the image speaks for itself. I am dressed as Rodney Marcelli, a.k.a. Rod, Rod Marcelli, who is the lead character in a independent comic book series written by Rob Multeri. It's called Nightwolf, and it's about it's a coming-of-age story about a young man who's in high school. He has everything in the world. He has a beautiful girlfriend. He has a full ride to wherever he's going to go to school. He's a great athlete, very popular person in school. But he finds out that he is a descendant of an ancient line of werewolves. Lycanthropy, I believe is the term. So he finds this out. Thank you, producers. LoneWolfComics.com, which, by the way, is one of the most electrifying websites on the interwebs today. And Rob Multeri, I know you're watching this. 2 thumbs up, buddy. We love you, man.
We love you, Rob.
We do. He's such a cool dude. He is one of the coolest of the cool. But anyway, so that is what Nightwolf is about. Rodney Marcelli finds out he's from an ancient line of werewolves. His life spirals out of control. His girlfriend gets kidnapped by an overlord, like a vampire king that's like holding her and trying to seduce her into becoming like his like new servant, his new vampire werewolf servant kind of thing. It's weird. It's wild. It's creepy. It's a mixture of a million different things, right? It's a little... I wouldn't say it's a mixture of X-Men, but it is definitely a mixture of like maybe Buffy the Vampire Slayer, maybe a mixture of Angel, maybe a mixture of the Vampire Diaries when the Vampire Diaries was good. I'm talking about the early seasons. Yeah. So if you're looking for something that's a coming-of-age story, meeting vampires, meets werewolves, meets beasts, meets mythical creatures, this is a story that is for you. It's for both, by the way. It's for men, women. Maybe not so much. It is rated PG-13, so I wouldn't necessarily let the little ones read it.
Yeah, it's kind of gory.
It's
not terrible, but it's
not like NC-17 gory, but it is gory enough to where I would say.
Oh please, kids these days are watching Demon Slayer. That stuff's
Hey, well, I could go off on a weird tangent about Demons. Just kidding. I've never even seen Demon Slayer. I don't know. But what I do know is that Nightwolf is one of the best indie titles available in the world today. So if you're looking for something that has all this kind of stuff, and this is kind of your Flavor Flav, like Baskin Robbins 31 Flavors of the Week kind of thing, because we all know Kelly likes Baskin Robbins 31 Flavors. So check out Lone Wolf. Exactly, that's what's in her mug too. Honey, where's the ice cream? So if you're looking for something like that, I'm so sorry. Ryan, do not break character. You're on set.
I had to yell because I asked him for tea like 20 minutes ago.
Ooh, you needed tea 20 minutes ago? That is 20 minutes too long. But Lone Wolf Comics is a great website. Check it out. There's also a spin-off series that focuses on Nightwolf. It's called Snowpaw, which is also really cool.
Snowpaw.
Yeah,
Snowpaw's a little
really
more fantasy.
By the way, I'm not going to give away spoilers here, but Snowpaw does make an appearance in Nightwolf, and she does play a little bit of a factor in the storyline. I'm just saying, bro. Yeah. So check it out. I'm dressed up as Rodney Marcelli. Here's my hoodie. Here's the shirt. Here's the... Hold on a second. You can't see them. These are blue jeans. There they are. Yeah, right there. Sorry. You're getting a bit of a side view. I know. That's not what you want to see, ladies.
Ooh, a pocket.
Pockets. Yes, I have pockets. These are regular blue jeans, and they fit me. So...
It is
Listen.
rare to get a cosplay with pockets. It's always a good thing.
Let me tell you something.
My husband says, yeah, Path of Exile's new expansion started today. He got distracted.
That's okay, Thomas.
They'll love you, honey.
They'll love you, Thomas. But I will say, let me be honest with you. I have not worn jeans really since I was yay high in elementary school. Because in the 1990s, there was a magical place called Gap. Granted, they both still exist. Both Gap and the Old Navy still exist. But when we were kids, wearing jeans and LA Rocks light up sneakers were everything to us. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this is one of the first times I've been wearing jeans. So Rob Multeri, you're welcome. I hope my check is in the mail. No, I'm kidding. He didn't pay me to wear this outfit. Plus, this is comfortable. I don't mind wearing a hoodie, whether it's summer, winter, or whatever. It's comfy, right? You want to be comfortable when you're wearing something. So, hey, I don't mind this. So anyway, that's my weird.
The perfect cosplay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's my weird tangent about what I'm wearing. But I'm Rodney Marcelli from Nightwolf. Visit our good friends at LoneWolfComics.com because you're going to like the way you look after reading it physically or digitally. I guarantee it. Kelly, back to you.
I literally just had fun putting together a sort of fairy look in my closet. This is my bridesmaid dress from my sister's wedding, like 10 years ago.
Whoa!
I don't know how it fits because I'm way bigger, but and then this is just a fun butterfly hair piece that I got at Goodwill. So, and then I added extra
Goodwill.
Goodwill is the cosplayer's dream.
It's always there for me. I get a lot of good stuff there at good prices.
Yes.
Just got a nice trench coat there today. It helps when you work there too. You get access to all that.
What color is the trench coat and what costume are you going to do with it?
So it's black, and I'm planning to use it for Cade Skywalker, if you're familiar with the Star Wars expanded universe.
Oh.
He's
Okay.
Okay, so you can team up with my Mara Jade.
Yeah, exactly. Even sees a vision of her too in one point in the comics.
Yeah.
The great series I'm very nostalgic about from when I was like in middle school.
Oh, really? Wow.
I don't know.
But as you were saying about your outfit.
Oh, I mean that's basically it. I was just like, I want to be a pretty fairy today.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean,
and you achieved that goal.
What do they call it? Hashtag cosplay goals. Well, she accomplished that in spades. So you're good, Kelly. Don't worry about it.
I was gonna do a whole makeup look and do a druid thing, and then my daughter claimed the bathroom. So that's what happens when you have a teenage daughter.
Well, wait, Ryan, back to you. Where's your giant sword?
I have a. I do have two swords. One of them is called a lightsaber. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of that, but they're kind of important in the Star Wars universe. And then the second thing I have is a legacy power sword from one of the greatest TV series of all time when I was a kid, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, because the Red Ranger was my favorite, and the power sword was the best weapon of the original 5. I'm not talking about like the other seasons that came after that. I'm just talking about the OG Mighty Morphin. Which, by the way, Mighty Morphin turns 30 this year, ladies and gentlemen. It turns 30, so happy anniversary to the Power Rangers, because 30 years of greatness right there. But I do have a power sword here, Brendan, but unfortunately it doesn't really go with the costume because the sword that he's holding in the image that we put up earlier from Lone Wolf Comics is Nightwolf, by the way. That's more of a silverish type thing, and my sword is, yes, it's silver on the blade, but it's red on the hilt because it's the Red Power Ranger. So I don't think that would necessarily go with my costume because Rob Multeri would say, hey, he doesn't carry a red power sword. Get that out of here. So I didn't want to violate copyright laws, and I also didn't want to violate what is it called, Power Ranger copyright laws, because Haim Saban is quite protective of his property. So,
and when you know the creator, you want to be true.
I want to, yeah. Both Kelly and I do know Rob Multeri quite well, so I didn't want to mess that up for you, Rob. So I'm just saying. But hey, if you ever want to see my sword collection one time, Brendan, I'll send you some pictures. You know, because I am a nerd like everyone else on this panel, so we can nerd out later if you want. Hi, Kitty Cat. I didn't even notice this until just now. The Kitty Cat is here. My goodness gracious, we have a fur baby in the building.
Yes, my Mittens decided to show up and show off his cosplay of being the cat from it's. I almost call him like my Dr. Evil cat, but he's not naked. He's not naked.
I love whenever we get furry guest stars.
By the way, hi Mittens, good to see you. You look great.
So Willow, you want to talk about your costume?
Well, this is my usual go-to costume for conventions. So I I call her Miranda. She's like a mechanic for hire for airships. So if you have an issue with an airship that's docked at a nearby convention, give me a shout. I'll be there.
The issue is that I don't have one. Can you build one?
I could try. It might be built with spare parts, but
the best ones always are.
There's so many things that could be taken with that statement, but you know what? I'm not gonna go there because it's a family show. We're here on a Friday night where people are watching us from the comfort of their own homes or their own studios for that matter. So I'm not going to say it. But I will say I appreciate the originality in everyone's costume here. I mean, granted, mine's from a comic book series, so who am I to judge? But Brendan, I mean, Greek mythology, monsters, bow and arrows, and giant swords. I mean, that's just, excuse my language here. I don't know if we're allowed to curse, but that is badass.
Badass is allowed.
I put a lot of work into it, so yeah,
definitely. I appreciate the originality, man. I love it.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, so this is like this whole concept of this series, like actually had like a different form, sort of, a more like took place in more of a modern era. But I thought then when I started playing the Assassin's Creed games, I kind of edited the concept of it to be more set in different eras. It has more of a superhero setting, kind of like some of Kelly's works. Like I know she and I were talking like one time about how like the superhero genre in like novels has kind of grown and wasn't really that big like 10 years ago. Mine like has like that feel of like Marvel, DC kind of comics, but it's set in like different times. So it's kind of like a little bit of like a lot of different genres.
Which is really the way to go because like the superhero genre by itself may be a little oversaturated, but when you the superhero genre, when you mix it up with other genres, it feels fresh and new because people love heroes, people need heroes, and historical superheroes are totally my jam, and I know a lot of people.
Right, because like I have obviously there's like the main team which has many different like names or incarnations, and I also plan to have a companion series called the Brotherhood of Creeds, which is like a interreligious group, which I actually got the idea from that movie Van Helsing. If you remember that one.
Oh, okay.
With the scene where like there's the one with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I remember that.
The one where like underneath the Vatican they literally have like Christians, like Muslims and like Buddhists all working together to fight like the paranormal.
Yeah.
And so that's like another like companion series I plan to have. So then kind of have that kind of comic like format, you know, companions and stuff.
That's gonna be so much fun.
I respect that. Yeah, I mean, I like that movie. I remember going to the theaters and seeing that thing. Hugh Jackman, he still is to this. That guy's gonna be a big star until the day the guy dies. But like, you had Hugh Jackman, and then you also had Kate Beckinsale, who, by the way, you want to talk about character, dude? Have you seen her in Underworld? Like, she can lay the smack down on people's candy, you know what. So when you have Wolverine and Celine in the same movie at the same time, I'm like, dude, give these two actors a franchise, because Van Helsing, and it didn't necessarily end on a cliffhanger, but it kind of left it open, you know?
They could have made more movies.
They could have made 2 more, and it was directed by the same guy who made The Mummy, Stephen Sommers. And I know how Kelly worships the ground that Stephen Sommers walks on because of Evie the Librarian.
Yes.
So if you want Stephen Sommers to do it, you should have let him do it. But then again, Stephen Sommers went on to do other things, which eventually led to him doing not only Van Helsing, but he also did G.I. Joe, which had an appearance from Brendan Fraser in it. You know, so he's done some adventure stuff for Kelly.
He was in G.I. Joe? What?
Moving from one thing to the other.
He made the first G.I. Joe movie. It's called G.I. Joe: The Rise of Cobra. That was him.
Wait, no, Brendan Fraser was in G.I. Joe?
He was. It was a cameo. It wasn't like a full.
Yeah, both me and you need to rewatch that movie.
I was gonna say, he's only in it for like 2 minutes, but he's in the movie.
I have to rewatch it. It's been a while.
Yeah.
That movie was better than some people give it credit for. Like, it was what it was. It was a popcorn movie, which I am here for popcorn movies that are just fun.
Well,
and it
look
was
what
a popcorn movie.
Look what you got in the sequel. Dwayne The Rock Johnson comes in as Roadblock. You had Adrian Palicki from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in that movie. So, you know, You had a good cast. I like both G.I. Joe movies. People throw them under a bus. I mean, listen, if you're a hardcore fan of the original property, I can understand why. But for movie fare, for what it was, I liked it.
Exactly.
Doesn't bother me. I mean, look at it. The Mummy. The Mummy's great fun. Doesn't bother me.
The Mummy is one of the world's most perfect movies.
Wow,
And I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
Those are bold words from Kelly.
Brendan, have you watched it yet? I know we talked about
I'm
it.
working on it. I was trying to start the James Bond movies, and I was trying to start other stuff. And
Dude.
I know it's on my list.
That's fair. You're like
Tell you what.
Captain America. You're like, I'll put it on the list.
I'll tell you
I
what.
got
Not only
so many things.
Not only should you watch Brendan Fraser's Mummy and Mummy Returns, but you definitely need. Dude, I just found this out yesterday. This is great. This is perfect segue into this cosplay thing, even though it has nothing to do with cosplay. What I can say, Brendan, is that if you go to your friendly neighborhood HBO Max, hashtag not a sponsor, they just dropped like 10 or 12 Bond movies on there. They did. They dropped the Pierce Brosnan movies. They dropped the Daniel Craig movies. They dropped a few Sean Connery. They dropped a few Roger Moore, but I wouldn't recommend those because Roger Moore is hashtag not my James Bond. But they also dropped Timothy Dalton's The Living Daylights, which is an underrated Bond film.
See, and then of course there's Weatherby, the one James Bond that a lot of people don't talk about.
There's Weatherby. Is that what you said?
I could be wrong, but
it
wasn't there?
Weatherby, or are you talking about the movie called Never Say Never Again?
I think that's the one. Sorry,
that's the one that's non-canon. Okay, it's non-canon because that was a remake of Thunderball.
Okay, but are all the Bond movies canon? Really? I feel like
they are.
Isn't it
all
like
25 of the original
really
films are
chronology?
100% canon. The only one that's not is Never Say Never Again. They're all canon.
I've been told until Daniel Craig, you have to watch them in any particular order.
No, you don't have to watch them in any particular order because they're all standalone movies. Even though they're connected in some way. The Daniel Craig movies do have a through line, whereas all the other Bond films are just standalones. But most of them anyway. But if you watch the Timothy Dalton and the Pierce Brosnan, those are just standalones.
interesting.
The Daniel Craig ones are connected. The Daniel Craig ones, all 5 of them have a through line. All 5 of them. Although I wouldn't recommend Spectre, because Spectre was not good. But No Time to Die was good.
Okay, Brendan, so you should start with the Mummy movies because only the Mummy and the Mummy Returns matter.
Well, what about
all the other spin-offs and
what about the Scorpion King?
The Scorpion King didn't really need to be made.
What are you talking about? The Scorpion King is awesome.
The Mummy Returns, that's only 2 movies, and then you can dive into the Bond franchise.
That's yeah, Brendan, focus on what's simpler about life. Brendan Fraser's The Mummy and Mummy Returns, and then you can hop into the Bond series. And if you need help, text me on Facebook. My phone lines are open 24/7, unless when they're not. So Facebook me, hit me up. Let me know if you need any recommendations. I'm more than happy to assist. I've been a fan. Listen, I've been a fan of the Bond films since GoldenEye in '95, baby. I know my James Bond.
So like I have HBO Max, so that's great to know that because before I was just renting from my library, like the good old days, to get like the movies.
They're on HBO.
And I did that for Dr. No, but yeah, I'll definitely do that for James Bond. The Mummy, I don't think I have anything to stream it on, so I'll probably have to go to the library for that, like I did.
It was on HBO Max, but I think it's now on Hulu.
Yeah, they
Hulu?
took it off.
Yeah, do you have Hulu or no?
I think my dad still has it for like sports and stuff, but like I don't know, the library's kind of more.
Library's way to go.
The library is a service, and you can get you can rent movies for free there, and you can also get these magical things called books.
Kelly has been saying stick with Brendan Fraser
and Rachel Weisz, because Brendan Fraser was in the 3rd one, but Rachel Weisz was not.
Yeah,
I
haven't watched the 3rd one, so I can't personally speak to it, but the 3rd one is generally.
It's okay.
And it's great. Really weird how the cartoon kind of
great.
Yeah.
Mummy 3 is not great, and plus there's a reason it has a 9% or 8% on Rotten Tomato.
Oh wow, that low.
Yeah, and by the way, Brendan Fraser, I know you're watching this show because Kelly's your biggest fan. It wasn't your fault. In the Mummy 3, it was not your fault. It was not the actor's fault. It was just not the best plot. It's okay.
It's okay. We're gonna get a Mummy 4. Let's talk about Mummy 4.
That's the only true take.
Are they really going to make a Mummy 4? Is that happening?
I don't know. They're talking.
Because Brendan Fraser keeps saying that they're going to, but then they never make it. So
with this Renaissance, I don't know.
Well, that's true.
Renaissance.
Didn't he win the Oscar?
Has nobody like called that? nobody coined that term. Well, I'm coining it now.
Oh no, I've been hearing it. It's been the term in my mummy meme group.
If they make Mummy 4, I'm down for it because I like the first two, and I know I know Willow doesn't want to hear this, but I love the Scorpion King. Okay.
Okay,
You're entitled to your wrong opinion. We still love you.
I love the
Scorpion King could have been a lot better.
Are you
kidding?
All right, whatever. Separate conversation for a separate show that Kelly doesn't want to hear. But
you know what? Let's get into some cosplay pictures.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Yes.
Because we talked about my outfit, we talked about Willow's outfit, we talked about Kelly's outfit, we talked about Brendan's outfit, which, by the way, Brendan beats us on all counts.
Brendan wins.
Well, Brendan put a lot more thought into his costume than the rest of us.
It's just a simple hoodie and a t-shirt and a pair of jeans. I'm basically I'm a reject from Bayside High. That's literally what I am.
But you look good.
Kelly gets props for goodwill, though.
Thank you.
Ooh, there you go.
Crayley always refers to it as my goodwill foo because I have a nose for which Goodwills will have the cosplay stuff I need, and I love it. It's fun to do. But so I really only have 2 submissions, and one of them is from me.
Oh, gee, I wonder why. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. So this is me and my friend Sarah at GaryCon, which is D&D con basically in Lake Geneva from 2 weekends ago.
Wow.
And this is another closet cosplay. That belt is not Goodwill, but it's another thrift store find. I wish I had a picture of Sarah's other original character costume from that weekend because it was so beautiful. But I didn't get any pictures of her because I didn't go with her that day. I just helped her get ready, and it was stunning. One of these days I will get a picture. She's terrible at taking pictures, but she did like kind of a Norse witch look, and she looks beautiful. She always looks beautiful.
Okay.
And these are our friends Ace and Abby Rago, and that's so Rago on Instagram, and they did a Doctor Who and Beauty and the Beast mashup that was just fantastic. Look at this.
That is gorgeous.
Well, in the words of our good friend Owen Wilson, wow.
Yeah, just incredible. Like they were the toast of C2E2, hands down.
Wow, C2E2 is a big show.
Oh,
that's a big show. A lot of our good friends were there too this past weekend.
Oh yeah, so much walking.
So much walking. I bought so much stuff. I have no more money.
And this is me and Brendan from our Egyptian day at C2E2 from our booth.
There you go.
This is Brendan's awesome moon night.
That's not the only time we've been in those same outfits at the same time.
Yep. This is from our, we went to the King Tut interactive exhibit, and this was really a fun day. So.
Is that you and Rick O'Connell? Is that who that is?
Yep. That's my friend Anthony as my Rick.
Woo!
Yeah, so Brendan organized this. It's so if you've ever done or if you've ever seen the Inside Van Gogh exhibits where they change the wall projections, they did that, but with an Egyptian theme. And so then we went and took pictures, and our poor photographer had to figure out how to light it. So that was a challenge, but he did.
So much white.
With so much, but this was outside the actual.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
I see a couple of moon nights there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was mostly.
Oh yeah, that was the original idea, but we thought, because like the mummy's becoming so much popular again, we had to open it to any Egyptian, and that's like a thing we'll be doing for future photo shoots too. Like I plan doing like a medieval one, and you can like have mini groups within. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I basically invited myself. I was like, "Can I come?"
We had another.
You were nice enough.
Here at this time of this picture.
And then here is Brendan's avatar group from also C2E2.
Boy, they are into this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a lot of the voice actors were there, so of course, you guys looked great.
Thanks.
A lot of airbending.
So here's another picture from the booth from Friday. The booth.
Oh, that is
You know
actually
what?
kind
I
of
gotta show
genius.
this
I
off for a
love
second.
that.
I gotta show this. You see what shirt I'm wearing? You see what shirt I'm wearing? Look at this T-shirt, guys. I'm wearing the Xavier School for
Nice.
Gifted
One
Youngsters.
of us. One of us.
I've been an X-Men fan since 1992 2 or 3 when the series dropped on Fox Kids, which, by the way, was one of the best networks in television history before it went south. So, and I just rewatched X-Men Days of Future Past 2 nights ago, Kelly, so you're welcome.
Yes.
Because, by the way, hashtag best X-Men movie of all time is Days of Future Past. Anyone else who says otherwise? I mean, listen, I know there's an argument for X2, but Days of Future Past is the best one, I have to say.
I did.
I'd have to say, yeah, it definitely is like top 3 in my book.
So good. I wonder who these individuals are.
Brendan, do you want to talk about this one?
Oh yeah, so Replay Lincoln Park is like it's like a bar arcade that they do different pop-ups like every now and then. They have like a whole team of artists and builders that make all these things like in the background there. They like put these things out, these pop-up themes every like month or so, and this one they've done Harry Potter like a couple of times. And so they had like a cosplay contest for this. And me and my friends literally just within a couple weeks or so, like whipped up a group together, the Marauders. So myself down there as James or Lupin, my friend toward the middle as James Potter, etc. Joseph as Sirius. And this is just the whole group shot we had after the cosplay contest.
Wow.
Very, very nice.
A lot of talented
Yeah,
individuals
currently they're doing they're doing like the sitcom ones right now, but I think Star Wars they're planning to do sometime in the future, like the early summer. So look out for that. Replay
Wow.
Lincoln Park. That's what it is.
I need to come down for the Star Wars once I do it.
Well, yeah.
One time they did and then this is our first group. This is our first official group shoot as Chicago and Cosplay Creations. We did this at a Catholic seminary that I grew up like around, and we did like a X-Men / Avengers theme because like it just had such a great historic look, and it had like that great Avengers campus kind of area by the lake. And so here was just our X-Men group photo.
That's cool.
But just absolutely beautiful location. You chose very well, Brendan.
That is very well done.
It was great.
And Juan did very well. Juan Pintor was our photographer for that and for the Egyptian. He did awesome.
The individual who's dressed up as Scarlet Witch looks fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Wanda Maximoff, I believe, is the character's name. Yeah, that's man. Scarlet Witch is a bit. Well, they're all a big deal, right? Obviously, but like Scarlet Witch is like getting a lot of attention. A lot of stuff going on with her. Way to go, Elizabeth Olsen. You got a career going for you for the next 30 years of your life. Maybe longer if they want to keep her that way. I don't know. I mean, when she gets like 10, 20 years older, they're going to use de-aging technology to make her look 25. So who knows?
Or they just recast her and say multiverse.
True, because there is the Multiverse of Madness, which did come out not too long ago. And no, Kelly, I haven't seen it.
Makes you wonder about Jonathan Majors and all that.
Ooh, shots fired. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that because that person's career is probably ruined. But that's
we'll see.
You know what they say, right? The character is bigger than the actor. They can always recast.
Well, it's like they opened up that can of worms with the multiverse, so anyone can be replaced.
They did, didn't we? And obviously we know how big a fan Andrea is of Captain Carter. So there you go. We can always get Captain Carter back. Haley Atwell. So which by the way, Haley Atwell could do no wrong, really. So. Let her have the screen if you want. She can make her own. She could have her own 3 movies as Captain Carter. We wouldn't mind.
That would be an awesome series. I would.
Captain Britain appear a few times.
Oh, God. So much talking.
Hey, would it be the first time a character from a What If series became out of it? Just became
got their own thing.
A main focus character.
I mean, Harry Potter is getting rebooted with a new series on HBO Max, I heard recently. And also, Liv Tyler is going to return as Betty Ross from The Incredible Hulk.
That I heard too.
Oh, wow.
Which, when I heard that news, it's like, wait a minute. Now you're getting me to try to come back into the Marvel fold by bringing my girl back? Okay. Well, give her something to do this time. Don't just go, she died. She withered.
Well, you know, Harrison Ford is going to be the General Ross now, the Red Hulk.
Because I believe, what is it, William Hurt tragically
Right.
passed away. Which, by the way, R.I.P. to the OG Thunderbolt Ross there, because he was, by the way, The Incredible Hulk is a criminally underrated comic book movie. I don't care what anyone says about the creative issues that went behind the scenes with Ed Norton. Ed Norton was great. The cast was great. The story was great. The action was solid. So,
Amen.
if Liv Tyler's coming back, hey, if we're in the multiverse of craziness, maybe Ed Norton will come back. I don't know. He could show up in a multiverse.
Hopefully Jeremy Renner makes a comeback.
He will. He will. He just did his first interview after his snowplow accident.
Oh man, if they do a Civil War II and have him like kill the Hulk, that whole like crazy thing.
I don't know if I want them to kill my Hulk because I really like the Hulk, but at the same time, Thunderbolt Ross in the comics later on becomes Red Hulk. So if he becomes the new threat and Hulk has to take down Red Hulk, Thunderbolt Ross, you may be my father-in-law, but I gotta take you down. That's fine because Harrison Ford is having fun with his career. He is enjoying himself. If you haven't seen his most recent interview on, CBS Morning News, he's having fun. He's 80 years old, but he's having fun. He's having fun. Not many actors in his position would say that, Kelly. Not many people would say that. He loves what he's doing.
He's pretty spry for an 80-year-old too.
He is. He is in such. People keep telling me, dude, this guy is in great shape. I'm like, of course he is, because he's Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is coming out this summer. Which, by the way, congratulations, Harrison Ford. Indiana Jones 5 looks like it's going to make up for the Carfunkel that was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So
that didn't exist. That didn't happen.
It's not hashtag not canon. Hashtag not canon. But Indy 5 looks great. I mean, look what Harrison Ford has done in the span of 10 years, Kelly. He's rebooted Star Wars. He's rebooted Blade Runner. He's rebooted everything else he's doing. He's rebooting Indiana Jones. I mean, the guy he's 80 years old. He can do no wrong.
Just need a Fugitive sequel now.
Really?
Yes.
He makes a sequel to The Fugitive. I don't know if that's allowed, but if he wants to, all he has to say is, I didn't kill my other wife. And Tommy Lee can come in there and be like, I don't care. Which, by the way, have you noticed they've been re-airing The Fugitive on network television recently, Kelly? It's true. They have. I didn't kill my wife. I don't care. Which is the trademark line of that movie. And by the way, Kelly, you know what I've discovered during this last few weeks is that Harrison Ford has probably played the second best, if not the first best, movie screen president.
In what movie?
Air Force One.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
If you have not seen Air Force One, that is, in my opinion, an Academy Award worthy movie. I think Harrison Ford should have been nominated for Best Actor. Honestly, he was so good as the president, don't you think? I mean, when he looks at Commissioner Gordon,
I have to really think about this. What was your? I don't know. Independence Day had a really good president.
I was thinking the president in Independence Day is my favorite.
No,
we're talking like not real presidents, like just Mr. Presidents, right?
Well, if you want to get into a spirited debate, I mean, President Whitmore, played by Bill Pullman in Independence Day, is probably the top dog.
My favorite.
Harrison Ford's president would be second, and then door number 3 for me would be the American president, played by Michael Douglas. He was good.
Michael Douglas wins everything. Okay, Michael Douglas.
Have you seen the American
real? And I'd be like, yep.
It's a really good movie. Anyway, congratulations, Harrison Ford. You've rebooted everything in your career, and you've done it successfully. At least we hope is going to be the case with Indiana Jones 5.
Let's not hold our breaths, but it looks good.
I think it'll be good. I think it's going to redeem a lot of stuff that went down earlier. I think it's good, and it's also going to be a throwback, because did you notice there's a lot of flashbacks? There's going to be some callbacks to the Ark of the Covenant, and I think to the Holy Grail.
Well, likely time travel is what people are saying.
Hence the reason it's called the Dial of Destiny, because the Dial of Destiny allows you to travel backwards and forwards through time.
Interesting.
Are you excited, Kelly? I think you should be.
I am.
We love you, Harrison Ford. That's basically what this whole episode of Cosplay Cafe has been about. Worshiping the ground that Harrison Ford is.
It's a change from the Brendan Fraser love fest that they usually are.
Yeah, I heart Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford is pretty awesome.
By the way, Crayley just said in the chat, I forgot to bring this up earlier. I liked The Incredible Hulk as a kid. Crayley, you were a kid when that movie came out. That movie's only 15 years old.
Okay, we're not talking the Ang Lee one, right?
Yeah, we're not talking the 2003 one with Ang Lee directed, right? We're talking the
Okay,
2008.
so the weird thing about the Incredible Hulk is that it's not on Disney Plus because of the
Right.
rights
Universal.
issues.
Because it's a Universal film. It's
So
rights issue.
where is it streaming? Anyway,
What is my favorite cosplay prop? Let's
ooh, that's a good question.
That's a
see.
great question.
Would you like me to show you one of them?
Sure.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Please do, because I know the
All
audience
right,
is
well,
sick and tired.
Brendan being ready for show and tell, and I'm here for it.
This is one of my first. This is like my first sword I made. So I don't know if you're familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but this is the Luck Pluck sword that the first
Oh, it's so good.
JoJo
Oh.
has.
Oh, that's great. It's not as good as the Power Sword that the Red Ranger carried for 3 years, but it's just as good.
First piece
Sorry,
I
I'm
made
sorry, my
also.
90s bias.
That's cool.
It's nothing personal, Brendan. It's just business.
And sorry, what did you make that out of?
So it's just kind of out of what I mostly use for like props. It's made of like foam. Usually put like a wooden dowel in the middle here to keep it steady.
Okay.
Really good.
Yeah, use some elastic to make the holster for the sword to like keep it around a belt.
Oh, neat.
That's really cool.
Otherwise, I think Ryan will get a kick out of
geez.
this here.
Whoa.
Okay. There you go.
Sword of Eden for those not familiar.
Okay. Very nice.
Trying to work on getting like some like lights to like kind of give it that like glow that they usually have like in the Assassin's Creed games. But yeah, those are probably my proudest props that I've made thus far.
Well,
Dollar
that's-
store. You could get the LED lights from the dollar store, which are really cool.
Dollar store, have to check that out.
Yeah. LED lights and some other stuff that may go along with the sword. I don't know. By the way, Crayley said in the chat, I was in fact talking about the pathetic version of that character known as the Ang Lee Hulk.
Wow, shots fired.
Crayley, let me tell
Okay,
you.
that
let me
is
tell you-
big talk for someone who likes the Scorpion King movie.
Hey, that was not. Listen, the Scorpion King was not directed by
there.
Ang Lee. It was directed by Steve. No, it wasn't Steven Sommers. No, I think it was. Chuck Russell directed Scorpion King, but it was produced by Steven Sommers. I'm sorry, but what
All
I
I'm
was going to
saying, big talk for someone who likes the Scorpion King movie.
whatever, Russ, whatever. But Thomas Gettner chimes in. He says Google says the Incredible Hulk 2008 film starring Edward Norton, by the way, is not included on any streaming service. You have to buy it specifically.
My hubby for the win. Thanks, babe.
Hey, guess what? I have the Incredible Hulk on limited edition Blu-ray DVD combo book, Steelbook. Okay, I have an
What's a
exclusive
Blu-ray?
Steelbook for this movie, so I support the Incredible Hulk, guys.
What's a Blu-ray?
You don't know what a Blu-ray is? Oh my gosh. Kelly, you need to get out more often. You need to go to Costco. You need to go to Barnes and Noble. You need to go to Best Buy, like somewhere that sells Blu-rays. Okay.
Okay, but everything's in my TV. It's streaming.
But if you
If
want
it's
to
not
watch,
streaming, I
Yep.
can't watch it.
but if you want to
Yep.
watch the Incredible Hulk, you can go to a first or second-hand store and get it for like $5 or $10.
But
The Incredible Hulk, you can get it for $10 now. It is so cheap.
Okay, fair.
Just buy it. Anyway, Crayley Vanest is in the chat. She says that Ang Lee directed one of my all-time favorite movies. Kelly might remember which one that is. Are you talking about Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
No, I think he's talking about. I don't remember who directed which movies, but Curly, are you talking about that dragon movie that we all thought came from the 80s? But was it 2000? What was that called?
Are you talking about Aragon?
No, it's
no.
Is it Reign of Fire?
yes. Did
Okay.
Ang Lee direct that?
I don't think that Ang Lee did, but I might be wrong. Can
Curly,
someone
you're
Google
gonna have
that,
to help
please?
me out here.
You know
It's
if
been a
Ang
long
Lee
time.
directed Reign of Fire with what's his name? I think wasn't Christian Bale or Leo DiCaprio in that, or something like that? Or no, Matthew
It was
McConaughey.
Christian Bale. It was Christian Bale.
Was Matthew McConaughey in that as well?
Yep.
Okay. Does anyone know?
Oh, Sense and Sensibility that she watches to fall
Oh.
asleep every night.
Yes, that is in fact, I believe, an Ang Lee movie that was nominated for Best Picture.
Yep.
Is
Yep.
that nominated for Best Picture?
Yeah, I would not have remembered that Ang Lee directed that. I'm terrible with remembering directors.
Was Sense and Sensibility the one with who was in that movie? Was it Hugh Jackman and Meg Ryan? Or am I thinking of something else? Can someone correct me in the chat?
I'm looking up. I'm trying
Correct me if
I'm
I'm
trying
wrong.
to type in IMDb.
I'm thinking IMDb. Sense and Sensibility, because I remember watching that movie on streaming. Does anyone remember if it was Meg Ryan and Hugh Jackman in that? That's a good question. I am so sorry, Kelly. I know this is about cosplaying, but Matthew McConaughey was bald and red
Thompson
fire.
and Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman.
Oh, that one. Okay, I got it confused with Kate and Leopold. I'm sorry. I got it confused.
Okay, so back to cosplay.
Yes. Enough about Kelly's obsession.
I'm sorry, Brendan. Did I warn you that we get off track? You know,
I'm trying to look back at some of the other videos if you guys got off track.
Check out the playlist. I think Cosplay Cafe is a wonderful show.
There are no tracks.
Well, in the words of our good friend Doc Brown, where we're going, we don't need roads.
Exactly.
So, Brendan, what is the one costume that you absolutely love dressing up in?
Well, I don't know if Kelly could answer that, but I will answer that for you. It would have to be Nightcrawler from the X-Men, because
that would be my guess.
It is just my most impressive thus far because of like the face paint work that I've done, and also like on a personal level, because I was like always trying to think of an X-Men to do ever since one of my friends did Cyclops. First, I was thinking Gambit, but then like after reading more of the comics, I decided like Nightcrawler because I like to gravitate toward characters that I really relate to. And like, I'm like a very devout Catholic. And so his religiosity just really like stuck with me. Plus his hopeful attitude. And
I respect that.
I just loved cosplaying him. Like I've always been like representing him at cons. He's also like very not like well seen as much at Comic Con, at least the ones that we go to. So it's always nice to have that one character that's unique and like you can relate to, and also you put a lot of work into. Yep. It's another one I've made like practically the whole outfit minus the morph suit that I use. Yep. I worked on the vest during the pandemic, during the lockdown, so that helped keep me sane working on Kurt.
Alan Cumming as Nightcrawler next to was fantastic. Loved his performance.
Yes.
So good.
So good.
Yeah.
His little moment between him and Storm in the Blackbird, when after they retrieve him from Boston, but they're flying over to Bobby Drake's house to rescue Wolverine and his friends. Right. That scene between him and her is like what she says. Sometimes anger can help you survive. So can faith. It's like, ooh, deep emotional themes, man. Like I love that. When X-Men explore some of those deeper themes, that's when it's at its absolute best, in my opinion. That's why I wish they would have brought Nightcrawler back for the other movies, but they never did. Well, they kind of did.
One thing I thought was always ridiculous is like they give Quicksilver his moment with Magneto, but it's like, bruh, Mystique is right there. Your mom was like never acknowledged.
No, I know.
It doesn't make any sense. It really is. Yeah,
that's why. As the movie's first guy, I really like gravitated toward the comics second, and like just now prefer those.
Yeah.
The comics really do lend to things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what happens when you get a director that doesn't read comic books.
Well, look what happened. I mean, he's been in the game since the very beginning of the franchise, but look what happened with Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
Simon Kinberg butchered that one.
Both times Dark Phoenix got butchered.
I know. Hey, I'm one of the few people who actually still enjoys X3 The Last Stand, but I can understand why now that I've read a little bit more of the comic books, because I'm still new to comics, guys. Give me a break.
That's okay.
I understand why people are so passionate about Phoenix/Dark Phoenix. I completely understand, because I've read the comic storyline, and parts of it anyway. And you're right. Yeah, we do not. I know, Crayley. I know, but
we don't have time. We don't have time for me to have a meltdown over this.
It's okay.
Phoenix is literally.
I get it.
In her name.
I get it. They've tried it twice. They've ruined it twice for comic book lovers of all kinds, and I get it. But you know what? If the X-Men do in fact get involved in something known as the MCU, which I kind of hope that they keep their own universes separate, but that's probably not going to happen, that they will do it right, because Kevin Feige's riding the ship. He knows what he's doing. He's been doing it for 20 years. He's been on the ground floor of when these movies were made back in the day. He knows the ins, he knows the outs, he knows what he's doing. Although I would still prefer the X-Men be in their own separate universe rather than having to join up with the MCU, because I feel like the X-Men are big enough to where they can sustain their own universe, honestly.
See, at this point, it feels like because of how Avengers-centric it is and how all the old Avengers are dying off and all these characters that haven't been around for a decade are coming on that aren't really going to hold their own, they're probably just going to make it more...
Well, I think they're leading more towards like having like the West Coast Avengers kind of thing.
Yeah, they're going to do
right,
that.
But it feels like the rest of the universe is going to be more X-Men centric because they're not really going to have as much material for all the next generation stuff.
I mean, it would be cool to see Beast in an Avengers movie.
Can we get Kelsey Grammer to come back for that though?
Well, because the thing with the animated series that the only thing with the animated series I didn't like was that they didn't rotate the teams enough. The X-Men have always been a team that rotated out members, so that would be a great opportunity to see for film wise.
Well, they're gonna have. I think they're gonna do that with the X-Men reboot with X-Men '97, which is a sequel to the original
hope so.
92
We need
animated
Colossus,
series.
Nightcrawler, Kitty Pryde. Those are some of the greatest members that we've never really got to see in the animated.
There's so much room to tell.
I don't even think we saw Iceman in the original X-Men, did we?
There was one episode with it.
Yeah, we didn't even see Bobby Drake.
I'm pretty sure they're gonna incorporate the New Mutants because Magneto is confirmed to be the new headmaster now. So
yep, and then we'll probably get what is it called, the Brotherhood, and then we'll probably get the Hellfire Club at some point. So. Listen,
I honestly would love to see a Hellfire Club series on its own.
You want to see Hellfire as its own standalone show? Could they do that?
They could do so much with that.
You think they could do it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I only know Hellfire from X-Men First Class. That's the only iteration of those characters that I've seen.
Well, in the comics recently, they've had a much bigger impact.
Yeah.
With the whole House of X and all that. So.
Ooh, yeah, I've heard about that. So many possibilities. The X-Men. We should just get into a writer's room and just put all our heads together and be like, "Yo, we can develop it. We can develop it, right? We can do it."
Disney, if you need new nerds to come work for you,
all the four of us that you see on your screen right now, 1-800 Cosplay Cafe. That's 1-800 Cosplay Cafe. That's all one word. Dial the number. You're gonna get Kelly's voicemail. She'll get right back to you. We'll be like, "Yo, it's me, Ryan, Andrea, Willow, Brendan. We're all gonna be in the writers' room. We're gonna help you pen this thing up because I've read some X-Men comics. Andrea has long boxes full of these comics. Kelly has some long boxes. Willow has a few short boxes. So, we can put it together. It's fine." You know what I would love to see, Kelly?
I've literally got a Phoenix tattoo, y'all. Okay, I've got.
You can't see it on my arm, but I have a non-existent X-Men tattoo right here. You just can't see it. What I do,
I have a lot of the X-Men lore trapped in my brain.
Basically, Willow's trying to say the X-Men are tattooed in my brain. By the way, Crayley Vanessa says my long box has the Dark Phoenix saga on it. That's cool. I don't mind Dark Phoenix. I don't mind Dark Phoenix.
X-Men on it. I have to go look at it to see which X-Men because now it's been a long week.
It's been a long week for everybody. That's true.
But on that note, okay, so we're coming to the end of the show.
Yes.
We could totally nerd out about X-Men. Actually, in 2 weeks we're gonna have Joe and Gina on, and we're gonna do an X-Men episode.
Ooh.
So this is teeing up for that.
Okay. I don't have any X-Men costumes, but can Ryan come in, please? Can I join the party at least? Because I love X-Men wholeheartedly. I love it so hard. Sorry,
you
that
can
came
totally
out wrong,
join
but I
the
just
party, and I can spitball some closet cosplay for you. We'll figure it out. But or you can just wear your Xavier shirt and be
stuff like that.
I could be just a random student at Xavier because remember in the first movie, Logan had to steal one of their hoodies just to make it through the door.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, hey, I can be Logan with the hoodie. Just be
you
like,
can totally do that. You should do that.
I can. Grow this
so since we're at the end of the episode, Brendan, I'm going to give you the full screen, and I'm going to ask you our question that we ask all of our guests. So basically, there you go. What advice would you give to new cosplayers?
In general, or for OCs?
In general.
In general, well, see, personally, for me to get the utmost enjoyment of it, like I was saying about with Nightcrawler, I enjoy characters that I relate to. So if you want to have a cosplay that you cherish for a very long time. Otherwise, find yourself a friend if you're not really that good working with your hands, a friend that would help you out, because I do that with a lot of my friends already. So find a character you'll enjoy cosplaying, and find someone that can help you out. Like, feel free to ask around, because there'll be somebody in your life that can help you make it happen.
That is great advice. I love it. Let's get you. Thank you so much. And Corelli said it earlier, but I didn't even think about the fact that it was going to be Good Friday when I invited you. Thank you for being here. I know.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I really, really appreciate you being here. I'm glad we were able to make this happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Corelli's comment. So this has been a lot of fun. So I'm just going to throw up your website again. Let me get back to where I put it in the comments.
Yes, please check it out. There's like I said, there's the short story for you to view. It's like about 16 pages that I wrote.
That is so exciting. And also, you should follow Brendan on Instagram. Actually, I should let you tell people where to follow you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so Instagram's at Gingy Weebmet Cosplay, and then you can follow our group, Chicagoland Cosplay Creations, Facebook and Instagram.
There we go.
Any of you live in the Chicagoland area,
definitely join us if you live in the Chicagoland area. Our next photo shoots are Gotham and Supernatural on April 29th and April 30th. And we're looking for some key characters. We're looking for a Sam and Dean, okay? I literally am taking to Instagram and like trying to recruit Sam and Dean. It's awkward. So, like if you know a Sam and Dean in the Chicagoland area, message me. Our Gotham shoot, I think we're pretty good for characters, but we've got room for more.
We're gonna be stopping at several locations throughout the Chicago Loop where they filmed The Dark Knight. I did a lot of research for that, so it's gonna be awesome.
Oh my God, The Dark Knight is so good.
I appreciate you so much for that. Like, I don't know Chicago well enough, so yeah, Brendan was like, "Here's the locations." I'm like,
that's awesome.
So Ryan and Willow, I'm gonna let you guys. Well, Ryan, why don't you go next and tell everyone where to find you?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, first of all, this was great being here. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate every single one of you. I appreciate Brendan putting up with my crazy, nerdy nonsense. Brendan, you're a trooper. Not many people can survive an hour and a half being in the same virtual studio as me, but you did, and I appreciate you for doing it. But in the meantime, if you want to hear more of my crazy, nerdy ramblings, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RyanRPM5, as you can see on my name tag here on the screen. Check out our channel. It's called Nerd Culture Channel, where we interview independent content creators such as Kelly and Willow. Brendan, you're more than welcome to stop by. Just shoot me a DM on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, giddy up, man. There you go. See, may the power protect you all. See, there's my Power Rangers reference right there. So check us out there. We're this close to hitting 1,000 subscribers, and we talk about independent content. We talk with independent content creators. We talk about books. We talk about movies. We talk about The Mandalorian, because Mandalorian is red hot right now with that new season with Bo-Katan and everything else she's doing. She's kicking tail and taking names. Hashtag this is the way. So if you want more nerdy stuff, check out Nerd Culture Channel, because you're going to like the way you look after watching or listening to our content. I guarantee it. Willow, I know this is going to be hard for you to follow up, because not many people can do as good a job as me. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're all equals here. Every single person in the studio and outside of the studio are equals. Willow Skylor, where can the person watching or listening to this follow you on social media and everything you have? What do you got, Willow?
All right, so you can join me and the back with the cereal box crew tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. It'll be great. We're going to be eating cereal and talking about the Justice League, Justice Friends. Sorry,
Super Friends.
Yeah, Super Friends. Sorry, thank you, Ryan. My brain's broken. So yes, we're talking about the Super Friends tomorrow morning, and I'm gonna do a Willet cereal with Twinkies.
Oh my. I grew up eating Twinkies as a kid.
So find out if Twinkies taste good in milk.
I'll bet they do.
Well, in the words of our friend Winston Zeddemore and Egon Spangler, that's a big Twinkie. There you go.
Well,
I'm sorry, that's awkward. Whatever. I'm sorry, Kelly. I ruined the show. I'm so sorry.
You did not ruin anything. I appreciate all three of you for being here. You can find me at Phoenix Sisters Cosplay pretty much everywhere. You can find me on my website at kellyguentner.com. And please check out my Scorcher audiobook, Indiegogo. I am only $520 away from my goal. It's all or nothing, so I got to make the goal. We got 20 days left, so I'm going to run one of my ads.
You know, there's only one reason why guys in this city will walk a girl to the door.
Whoa, I'm not that forward. Actually, I'm not even that quick to make any kind of move, especially when the woman in question is trying to let me down easy. It's just that, well, when you said you had complications in your life, it sounded genuine and not like a blow-off. But maybe that's because I can relate to that sentiment.
I doubt that.
Well, maybe it's not the same sort of complications, but we all have things in our lives that make it difficult to get close to someone. Maybe some more than others. I've heard girls break up with me because there are times when my job requires me to run off in the middle of the night. I mean, if I'm working on a case, well, you know, criminals don't sleep after all.
I know. Marty, I had a great time. Thank you.
Wait, I wasn't finished. I wanted to offer you a deal. I like you, and I want to see you again. I know you have your hesitations, but what if we set some guidelines?
Okay, I'm listening.
How about I agree to look the other way when your complications get in the way of plans, if you promise to do the same for me? We could also add topics to the off-limits list, if that would help.
I can agree to that, but under one condition. If you break any of these guidelines, I'm gone. This isn't a 3 strikes and you're out deal.
It's a deal. So I still owe you a follow-up to my tour of the city. What are you doing next Tuesday?
Spending time with you, I suppose. You ask as though I have a choice.
Well, I would have shown up either way, but it's good manners to ask first.
Oh, and I suppose as long as you ask, it's okay to do what you want then.
Exactly. I'm glad you understand. I'll see you Tuesday.
Cosplay Cafe is sponsored by whycosplay.com, which is your one-stop shop for quality costumes and cosplay supplies. So click on the link in our show notes to get a 20% off discount. Or not, if you hate saving money. I don't know you. I don't know your life. Clicking on the link does help support our show. So, you know what? Just do the thing. Do the thing.